Hey girl,
Hi.
hey.
It's been a
Happy
week.
almost Friday.
I know, I'm so excited. I get off tomorrow early, so I'm like,
I'm hoping at minimum a lot of people are out of office so that I can do the very minimum and two, dip out a little earlier. And that's not bad. I'm salary, so okay.
this girl, same.
Yeah.
Same.
So,
They get their
anyways,
money's worth.
um, big week in TV, am I right?
Girl, it's been a week. Like when that trailer dropped, my heart was pounding, my blood pressure went
Summer
up.
House
I was in
trailer?
the shower, like, yeah.
The Summer House trailer?
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm glad that they gave us a different perspective than what was already floating around online.
Yeah, they edited
Um,
that real good, that trailer.
yeah, like it gave me, because low key, I'm not gonna hold you. Like I was starting to be like, gosh, let's just get this over with, like reunion included. Like I'm like, this is starting to give me fatigue.
Yeah.
But no, that trailer revived me. I'm back. We're back.
Well, it's so much to talk about. We have to do 2 episodes
No, like for real, you
because you
guys.
know I'm a yapper.
Yeah, and I mean, there's a lot to be said, even for two yappers. So, with that said, we're gonna record this week's episode into two parts. We're gonna talk about Summer House and the city. Is it in the city or the city?
In the city.
You know
In
how
the
Black
city.
folks do. We just call it whatever we want. So
Someone said that there was a show called The City, so that's why
isn't
they
that
think
the
this
one
one is
that
in the
Whitney
city.
from Laguna Beach was on?
Yes, that was the show. Yes, like The
Yeah.
Hills.
Exactly. Okay, anyways, so we're gonna record it in two parts. We're gonna record Summer House in the City, that's what I'm calling it, in one part because there's a lot to yap about. And then make sure you go to the very next episode because it's gonna be the rest of the shows that we're all dying to talk about as well. So make note of that, stay with us. Happy to have you
Tamika,
along on this ride. Let's get into Summer House.
let's start
Let me
with
get my notes
the quote
because
that shook me.
I always have to watch these shows twice for the purposes of like,
Yeah.
talking about it. But I had to watch these twice because there was just so many moving parts and so many things going on that I had to document it into notes. I mean, it's like a novel.
No, my notes are insane. But when Sierra said, he is with you to spite me, I I died a little bit. I said I wouldn't come back from that if someone told me that. That is
Here's the
so
thing.
embarrassing.
It's a great line, like it's a good read. I just don't think that's the case. I think he would have to care about Sierra to spite her. I don't think West gives a shit about Sierra. I don't think he gives a shit about anybody but himself. So
For
I thought it
sure.
was a good read and it was a good zinger. But at the end of the day, it's not true. I don't think West cares about Sierra to spite her.
I don't think he cares about Sierra, but I do think that when she started, icing him out after the whole New York Times article went out, I think he went out of her. I think it was like his villain origin story for her that he was like, how dare she ice me out? Because remember last season, how he was like, I don't understand why she's so mad. I don't understand why she acted like it was that deep. So I think he's kind of like, I don't think he really likes Sierra. I think he is
Right.
kind of like, how dare you think you're going to do this to me? I'm West. You know what I mean?
Yeah, in that sense of spite, yes, because again, this is always going to go back to how he was perceived, right?
Exactly.
That's all he cares about. Even in his apology, again, when they were out at the docks earlier this season, everything he had to say in his apology or in his making up with her had to do with my ego took a hit, and so I was
Mm-hmm.
mad at you. So it's
And he
just,
didn't want to be with her because he didn't want to be just Sierra's boyfriend. So it's
right.
all like I think he did it to spite her, but not in the I miss her, I loved her way. It's like a bitch, who do you think you are way?
Yeah, no, I 100% agree.
Like it's so
Getting into the episode, the final party of the summer continues. Everybody's living it up. Um, it's hard to reconcile the fact that I do really feel bad for Kyle with the fact that he's acted like a complete kindergartner in his marriage.
Mm-hmm.
And the West Sierra Amanda debacle aside from that, I mean, obviously, prior to all of this, we were all Team Amanda as far as how she's been treated in that marriage.
Yeah,
Because at some point as a married person, yeah, you kind of do want your husband to stop coming home at 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m. In the city, we get into the fact that he did, in fact, kiss somebody else, but we'll get there. And there's
that was
just been
actually really
so many
funny.
things since they've been married, right? So it's like
Yeah,
he's moping around this party for a lot of reasons. There's like a lot of finality. There's the fact that it's the final party of the summer and the summer's ending. But then there's also the fact that this is a transitional period. Again, we don't know about Weston, Sierra, and Amanda yet. So for him, it's like a transitional period where it's like not only is this ending, there's a chance that he doesn't come back to Summer House as a show, right? Because they're now going into
in
the
the city.
city and they've pitched that as a theory or as a show concept. So that means like in some regard, yeah, like that's done for him as well. So that's sad as well. And then there's the teeter-tottering of the fact that he knows after this summer and all this wraps, he's got a discussion he's got to have with Amanda that is probably going to end in them separating. So it's like
It's
everybody's
just
partying and getting effed up in the background, and Kyle's moping around trying to make sense of his life.
I really loved this theme. I'm not like big on the themes, but I really, really love this theme. I love a fur. I love an après anything. So I was into this.
And
Did
in
you
summer, it's so fun because you don't have to worry about being cold.
exactly? And I really want to know what was the weather because everyone was in a fur all night long. Like no one took it off. So I was like, was it
Wait,
kind
can
of like
we pause
cold?
for just a second? I have
Yeah.
got to turn this air conditioning off. Hold on.
Is it too loud? I don't hear it.
No, I'm cold.
Oh.
Wait, how do I pause this?
Did I order two things? No.
Okay, never mind. We continue because I can't even figure out. Anyways, so Andrea gets there. Man,
Wait, can we talk about how
oh, go
Amanda
ahead.
kissed Jesse?
On the lips.
And he
On
looked like,
the
what are you
lips.
doing? He was like clearly annoyed by it.
He did look
Like, whoa.
visibly shocked. He looked visibly shocked. I won't hold you.
She just needs so much male attention.
Oh, I
And
found
it's
it. Hold
like,
on. I'm gonna pause it. Hold on. Phew, so sorry about that, guys. I was about to freeze into an igloo in here. Anyways, um, Andrea was at this party. Can I just say I don't get the Andrea hype?
he to me is like kind of whatever looking. Like he's handsome. Don't get me wrong. Body,
Universally
made from God.
attractive. Universally
But
attractive.
I remembered from his season, he was so charismatic and sweet and like gentlemanly to the girls. It like made their panties wet, and that would do it for me.
I do remember the morning coffees.
Yeah.
But listen, what I remember about Andrea, and people can feel how they want about me saying this, is that low key, like he was cool with Sierra because Sierra's universally attractive or whatever. But
Mhm.
from what I remember, he had weird energy with Maya for what seemed like no reason. And with there only being two black girls in the house, it just always rubbed me the wrong way. And he couldn't even put his finger on what it was about Maya that made him so and so for him to be
Yeah.
a person that everyone's like, oh my God, he's so nice. I was like, not really.
Like not even trying to defend him, but I have never really connected with Maya. But I feel like as a man, when you're doing XYZ for six other girls in the house, just do it for Maya.
That was my
You know
theory.
what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like, because I do remember that now. And I remember thinking, yeah, I don't really connect with Maya either. But that's just very strange
Yeah.
to obviously bring coffee to literally like five women and then you leave her out. Like, you're what's making one more coffee? It was just like, I do remember that being strange. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, even if I don't like someone, I just feel like as a man, you just do it anyways.
Yeah, it just always rubbed me the wrong way. And to me, it's like all of the, I'm not going to fake his accent or anything because I don't want to be offensive, but all of the like thick accent and schmoozing and Rico Suave,
Yeah, I
it
feel
just
like it's just
all
very male
performative.
model Italian. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, I think like Andrea's cute or whatever, but everyone always was like, bring Andrea back. And I was like, I mean,
And that wife of his really does nothing for me. So, I
I
mean,
thought she was
I
Italian this
guess.
whole time till she opened her mouth.
What?
I said, you're not Italian?
You thought she was Italian?
I never heard her speak. I just assumed she was Italian.
Oh my gosh. I mean, the lady has talked before, Courtney.
I have never
Oh
heard her
my
speak
God,
until in the
dude.
city. I was like, where is your accent?
I did not know that you thought this lady was Italian.
And her
Isn't
name
she
is
from like
Lexi.
Minnesota or something?
Probably the way she was talking, I said, eh?
I'm dead.
I really
Um,
thought she was Italian.
well, Carl and Lindsay had an interesting talk. And my
I loved
notes
it.
say Carl and Lindsay talk, and the bottom line is Lindsay was big hurt. Um,
Yeah,
they communicated about how his mom made her feel, and it was a constructive conversation. But what I thought was interesting is that she's upset that Carl's mom went to this non-wedding in Mexico, but so did Kyle. Kyle was there. There was a lot of people that went to that thing. So why are we only mad at Carl's mom?
I think why she's mad at Carl's mom. Okay, first off, I loved it. I love that Carl just kind of let her hash it out and he didn't really say much because I think that's what she's owed. Because regardless of if we saw the signs, she was blindsided.
Oh
I think
yeah.
she thought we're just gonna, it might not be perfect, but we're just gonna push through. We're gonna get married. We're gonna work it out, have babies, whatever.
Well, I also
I
think
think,
that she thought their friendship, right, outside of the show in
yeah,
real life superseded all this show shit. So for you to go to
exactly.
producers with what you're gonna do and not come to me, like, what a blow.
Like you've been inside me. You don't think you could just tell me?
Right. I mean, I know that Lindsay was out of control those couple of seasons that her and Carl got serious with each other and engaged and everything. But again, I could see why she would think our personal relationship outside of this
Mhm.
show would supersede you doing some fuck shit like that.
Exactly. And I think the issue with Sharon is her and Sharon have always been very close. So for
Sure.
Sharon then to act like his mom, basically, I think Lindsay kind of forgot, like, yeah, that's still his mom. And she's like one of those crazy boy moms, in my opinion, just from the
Yeah,
signs
they
I've seen.
definitely have
I
one
think
of
it,
those relationships.
yeah, and I think it hurt her that Sharon didn't say something sooner. Even if you wanted us to maybe not get married because it wasn't great, for us to have a close enough friendship for years and years, and then your son dumps me and you don't even say, Lindsay, I'm so sorry. You wait a month and a half, and it sounded like she went on that farewell party
Wedding, yeah.
beforehand. Like that would have really hurt my feelings too if I thought we were cool. For you not
Well,
to
I
say
think also
anything.
too, you could even connect it to the fact that Lindsay has a troubled relationship with her own
Mm-hmm.
mother. So if she takes you in as a mother figure, that's her putting you on a pedestal,
She
and that
loved her
probably really hurt her too.
because
And
even before they dated, she always spoke very highly of Sharon. Like always was like, "Oh my god, I love Sharon. Sharon's so great." Blah 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 blah
right.
blah. So like, and then for Sharon to then send that weird text message and then be like, "Hi, Lindsay, how's the baby?" Now Lindsay was putting tens on the conversation. She didn't bombard you or
That's
whatever
just
word
kind
Lindsay
of what
used.
Lindsay does.
Like she's so dramatic. But yeah, I would have been like, you know, we're not cool. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, can I like be honest though? Mama Carl just kind of has always rubbed me as a strange kind of lady. Like,
Yeah,
no
she's always given boy
shade.
mom to me.
Yeah, like I don't know, maybe a little enabling. And then I remember in the early seasons thinking that they had a bit of a codependent relationship as well because
Yeah.
his dad and her had just divorced, I think it was.
Yeah, his
Um,
dad like divorced her randomly one day and then got
right.
married in like a month or something
Right. So, I
stupid.
mean, you know. My next note here says Amanda goes back to the black women and Lindsay in the house being, having them stand up to be her defenders. And I said Amanda is lazy and went with the easiest, sleaziest option, which was, again, I'm not going to fight my own battle. I'm going to have other people do that for me because it's so much easier than standing in my own shit and saying, Kyle, this isn't working. I want to separate. So I'm going to have these black
I
women in the house be my mouthpiece.
have never in my life liked Amanda. She's
Yes,
just
you say that every week.
she's a mopey little lazy blob. She's so,
You
in
know
the
what
words
was
of
so
Lala Kent,
yucky
she's
about it?
blobbish.
She kept on being like, I'm so lucky. I have such good friends. It's almost like she was saying it to make herself believe it.
I just think
Like,
everything
I don't
about her is
know.
performative. So as I've been watching and I think back on my Amanda hate, because like I said, when I hate someone, it's usually just a feeling of vibe I get in my stomach. And so now I'm putting all the pieces together because she's finally done something that is so nasty and disgusting. And I just think she has had everything handed to her. I don't even think she wanted to marry Kyle. I think she wanted to punish him for cheating on her. So she made him propose. And she was like, well, I want to be married. I think so. She thought she was, young, you think that. And I think this is her way of punishing him because they have never been happy in their relationship and their marriage. Like nothing about their marriage from even engagement. I think the day on the boat, they were happy. And from there on in, she has been a naggy. Everything he did, and Kyle has done dirt. But everything she did, she's like, I'm going to nag you because this is my payback. She was in it for the long run. And honestly, I kind of applaud it.
Well, yeah, I'll raise you that and even say, did she want to make him suffer, or did she just kind of know I can bet on this guy? I can live a
No, it
nice,
was
cushy
both
life. You know what I mean? And
because Kyle is a hard worker. So I think
right.
she was like, I want to be married. Sure, I'll marry Kyle. And Kyle doesn't want to be married. Kyle wants to give his parents grandchildren. I think Kyle could be a good husband to someone he respects and likes. But I think Kyle is in that weird age of millennials where you just thought you went to college, you got a job, you got married, you had kids. And now they're realizing, oh, you don't actually have to get married or have kids. That's an option not to do. And
I
I
don't
think he's
know.
thriving.
I don't know though that Kyle actually wants to be single or alone. And the reason I say that is because,
No, I don't think single.
well, no, my point was though that again, I think he's one of those guys that wants a wife and kids but doesn't want to be a husband or a father. Like I don't
I don't think necessarily he wouldn't be an active husband and father. I think he wants to be with someone because I don't think any man can be single like on this planet. I don't think they're wired like women can be happy being single. I don't think he necessarily wants to be single or like a bachelor, but I don't think like I think he would be fine not being married. He just seems like he's just really enjoying life. I think I've always said Kyle needs to date a woman who's either fine with him working 24/7 or another worker like him. And Amanda is neither one of those.
I think he would do well with like a Nia from the Valley type. Not so much a trad wife, but a wife that would just fit nicely into what
Yeah,
already he's
someone
got
who's
going
like,
on.
you're a worker, you're a provider, I will
Yeah.
support you. You work 80 hours a week. I am never going to complain because you're keeping me kept.
But
Amanda's not
also,
that
I'm
bitch.
going to make sure the house is clean for
Yeah,
you. I'm gonna not
the
complain
perfect
about you being
housewife.
a DJ. I'll be easygoing. That's, waspy, a
Yeah, I
waspy
think he could
wife.
also do well with a woman who's also just as hard as worker as him. But the bottom line is he needs a woman that is not going to bitch and moan about him working. Even before the DJ, Amanda's like, you work so much. Bitch, I own a company. I never stop working. I'm never clocked out.
Did you notice that everybody was seemingly rolling in that
Oh,
episode?
I think they roll every party they
Like
have.
maybe that's where the kiss on the lips came from.
I think so, but also I hate her, so
West and Sierra stay up into the wee hours of the morning and they have a disgusting kiss downstairs by the pool.
Tree,
And I
I
say
don't even
disgusting not because it's West, but because it just didn't look like a good kiss.
thank you. It looked so awkward, so
His
disgusting.
mouth was like so tight.
It looked like there was so much like saliva. I was
You've
grossed
been up
out.
all night drinking, partying. I know that breath wasn't
It was
fresh.
like 4 a.m. at that point, like
Right.
4:30.
So you
I'm just
last
like,
brushed your teeth like 16 hours ago.
but wait, can we go back to their little lounge chair thing? When Sierra said we need to work on your self-worth, I think that was Amanda's villain origin story. I think that because you could tell her face was kind of like, bitch, we said
Like,
anything about my self-worth. We're supposed to be talking about how we hate Kyle.
yeah, but I think she knows her self-worth is in the shitter. Like,
No,
I think she's
she
aware of
knows
that.
it. But Sheree, imagine if you know something and then that's like bad about you, and then I say it out loud. I
Well,
would be
you're my
like,
good friend of like over 15 years.
yeah,
So
I still would be like, oh,
no,
like
I think good friends tell you harsh truths like that.
no,
If you don't
Sierra.
consider that person a good friend, because there's a lot of chatter going around online that I don't necessarily disagree with when it comes to the relationship that is Amanda and Sierra's friendship. A
Mhm.
lot of people are saying, look, at the end of the day, those two met through Paige. These were two of Paige's good friends. So when you have a threesome, and you probably have experienced this in life, I have, when you have a threesome that comes together through a mutual friend, in a mutual situation, let's say college, high school, or something like that, and that mutual friend gets transferred to another school or is no longer part of the picture. It's like a time clock starts ticking on how much longer this new friendship that came to be with that
Yeah.
nucleus is gonna last. And so a lot of people are saying, maybe in Amanda's head, she's always considered Sierra like a work friend. And
No,
maybe with
100%.
Sierra getting so involved in her marriage, a lot of it was like, hey, bitch, like, hey, you toeing the line. Like,
We ain't
for
cool like that,
instance,
like that.
going to this man and saying, I think you guys should separate. When Amanda did lightly lay a boundary saying he's not going to go for that, to me, if you told me that, I would say, okay, I mean, I would not think
You
that I
would know
need
your
to.
husband better than me.
And I would, I mean, let me just say, I would not go talk to your husband about a damn thing in the first place, but I digress. My point is, to your point, that like Amanda in that moment was probably like, bitch, what?
Yeah.
You're probably right because I think again,
The
like,
look on her face was not like, if you would have told me, I've been like, but her face looked like shocked
yeah,
that this woman would even dare say that to her.
yeah,
I was like, ooh, she didn't like that, Sierra.
yeah. And even from a good friend, like that you do consider a good
Yeah.
friend, that's a harsh, like, and on
Well, like
national.
hearing something like that out loud is, I don't want to say a punch to the gut in a bad way, but it's like a wake up call. It's
Well,
like,
yeah,
oh,
even if my mother told me something like that, it'd be like, well, damn, like
yeah,
I knew that, but I didn't realize everybody else was picking up on that.
yeah.
That's a
So
different
I was like,
realization.
oh, she went into sicko mode when she heard that because she was like, what? What?
So
Um,
everyone starts, wait, do you have anything else to say about like the party, the kids? Oh, they go up to West's bedroom.
Oh, it was, I said, you guys, I get that you needed to put this in there because we have to build the narrative that West was leading Sierra on. And so, yes, it was even worse that he did this with Amanda, but I don't want to see that.
I think I was watching Ryan Bailey earlier today and he goes, oh, I fully believe he would have had no problem fucking Sierra in the room with Jesse in there.
Oh, I'm sure he has done that since probably high school.
Yeah, I was
West is a
dying.
gross McGrossen. He is, ugh, and he's always
But
so big.
listen, he gives his whole speech or diatribe. I forget who he was talking to in the scene.
He was talking to Ben on the
Ben,
slopes.
where
I
he's
remember
like
this.
running down everything that makes sense about what we know about the situation
Yeah,
between him and Sierra, which is that he knew he should not have done what he did 2 summers ago. He knew she wanted something serious and that she loves really hard. And if she lets you in, that is a benefit to you more than it is for her. You know what I
no,
mean? It's a
literally.
benefit for her too, but obviously it's like she
Yeah.
holds herself on a pedestal as you should. And he knew those things. And he even states, I basically have a carnal physical attraction to her. This is what I heard. I have a
I heard
carnal
that too.
physical reaction to her, but I know for a fact I don't want to date her seriously. I know that. So I need to make sure that we have enough space and boundaries between us where I continue to respect that. So how we got from that conversation to a kiss
The
and
Molly, the
subsequently
Molly,
it ha the
the
drugs.
Molly,
It's always the
the
drugs.
alcohol. And once you've been drinking and it's 4 a.m., you're just horny.
And
And
then from
he
a
has no
guy or a girl that
self-control.
you already really like he said, he has this carnal because she's hot.
Wait,
She,
did you check him checking her out at the reunion when she walked by?
I did.
I'm like, you just like, but she's so pretty. I get it.
West is so good and bad at being who he is that like I'm not going to hold you. He keeps me on my toes. Like while I see right through a lot of his antics,
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, it baffles me that somebody that legitimately looks like the Skid Row version of Robin Williams is able to do this much damage. Like when he's at the reunion, when we got the reunion looks, he doesn't even look like he brushed his hair or his teeth that day. Like he has
Girl,
a suit on, but
I said
that's
he looks like he came from a conference, had his 2 drinks, and is gonna go make out with his coworker later on while his wife and kids are at home.
he looks like he smells like last night's sleep.
Yeah, he never looks fresh ever.
Yeah, like his breath smells like stale alcohol.
And I'm like, Wes, we've seen you dress nice. How do you show up to the reunion looking disheveled?
And
Like you've pulled an all-nighter.
what kills me about Amanda is you didn't want your husband anymore because it essentially went into nightlife as a career. And let's just talk about nightlife as a career when you have a following like Kyle Cook. He's not getting hired at the local Holiday Inn to do the retirement party to DJ. He
He's
like
minimum getting 20K
these
minimum.
influencers, just to show up and breathe the same air as you people, are getting paid minimum 10K just for that sort of thing. So you get upset with him when he's doing that to pay the bills, but you get with a known party boy. Somebody that's what his entire brand is that he's a jet setter. He's always in one place and
He's
another
always
place.
at something. His job is to travel, going to different sporting events. Like, girl,
We'll get to
you're so
that deeper.
unserious. You're not in love with this man. Stop.
Oh no, we're gonna get into that in the city. But everyone leaves the house. Everyone starts packing up like that. Like the last
Wait.
episode. Oh, go ahead.
So, the goodbyes. When
Mhm.
Amanda is bawling in Sierra's arms,
Wait, we're
you're.
gonna get there.
Oh, I
Everyone's
thought you said.
leaving.
Oh, I thought you're talking about her and Kyle sitting down. Sorry.
No, 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 not yet, not yet.
Oh,
No,
so
what
okay,
I mean by everybody leaving
like
is
packing up.
yeah, I was gonna say like the last episode of Bad Girls Club. Like everybody's
Mm.
getting their stuff downstairs,
Yeah, yeah,
you know,
yeah. Okay, okay, okay.
communing downstairs. They concede to having Lindsay say a speech about how the summer went and what went well and how, her and Carl had constructive conversations. She got to meet new people. Yay, guys, great summer. Mia tells West that if he hurts Sierra, she'll kill him, which he's heard before and did not heed to because you know why, Paige? There was no follow through. You didn't
No
actually kill
follow.
him like you said you were going to. If we say
Nobody
we're
cared.
gonna kill them, we have to do it on the set. But anyways, um, and so yes, now Kyle and Amanda sit down on the stoop. Go to what you were gonna say prior to that happening.
So my thing is Amanda and Sierra having that tearful goodbye, all the things Amanda said to Sierra.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, do you know how low of a place you have to be in your life to say that to your friend and then go fuck her ex-man?
Have you seen
That's
the
sick. It's
still
sick.
shots that
Yes.
people
When she goes, she's
when
sick,
they
Sheree.
both look
Yes.
hot.
But he played it off because he's a dirty little dog. But she was like, I was like, you're sick. But I love how far Sierra and Lindsay have come.
Me
Every
too.
time I
Me
see them
too.
hang out, because truly they are kind of the same person. And I see why they had their issues, but they are very, very similar as women. And
I
they're
agree.
both, as I said, Southern girls.
Yeah, because I always forget Lindsay's from Florida.
Mhm.
And also too, they kind of have issues with parents on the opposite side of the spectrum, which, we can
They
all
both
usually
have
bond with somebody over.
very high standards. Like Lindsay's a Leo, but I want to know more about her chart because she is very planned out. Sierra is like that. They have very high, like they're just so similar. And it sucks they're both going after ugly ass Austin. With West at least has charisma. I don't get Austin. He's just
Don't
tall.
even get me started on the mediocrity of the men on Southern Charm and how a man like Austin Kroll has been able to pull even half of the baddies that he's pulled on Bravo.
I don't
It
get
but
it.
like the way height will get women all fucked up in the head should be studied.
No,
Um
it's like something psychological.
Amanda and Kyle sit down to have a conversation that we all knew was coming at the end of the season, including Kyle. And basically, she sits him down on the step and says, "Bitch, I can't do this anymore. Um, Nothing's going right, nothing's going left. We're both miserable. And before we go back into the city and go into the fall together, I need you away from me. I'm checking
I
into a
think
hotel."
if they didn't have the city filming like immediately, I think they would have gotten a divorce then and there.
How much of you believes, like I believe, that the closer, because I like for anybody out there that believes these two weren't starting to emotionally connect to each other.
Oh, wait. I put that in my notes. When I saw that hug, I said, you two were doing something first. We're talking about Wes and Amanda, right?
Yeah. And so I'm like, how soon when she got into the city and checked into her hotel, do you think it was before she called West and said, "Hey boo, I'm in room 1132 at the Westin."
Um, Cherie, I'm so crazy. You know what I thought of? I said, I need to find someone with footage because I need to know if he walked into that hotel too.
A hotel bellboy, the clerk, the
When I
maid.
go to New York, I might have to go to the hotel and do some digging.
Like, I know somebody knows something. There is,
Because she wanted to move out, and I put this in my notes because she wanted to hang out with her boyfriend more,
I put in
or
my
or she
notes,
thought was her boyfriend.
I put in my notes, she soft launched their separation by saying she just needed to stay in a hotel for 2 days.
Yeah, because
Not, I'm gonna go to my parents' house. Like, cause I feel like for me personally, whenever I've been like low in a relationship or I've lost sight of who I am and I need
mhm.
to ground myself, I always go to where I come from. I go to like my parents' house, I go to my mom, or I
Yeah,
go like to the city I grew up in, where I grew up. It's gorgeous. I'll go down to the city I grew up in. That's how I reconnect. I don't go get a hotel room in the city. Or maybe I'll go stay at my friend's house for 2 days. Like I'm gonna go stay at whoever, her best friend,
yeah. Let's go have
whoever.
a girls' weekend. Like we'll order takeout. Maybe we'll go to dinner. Maybe we'll go get a cheeky little drink. But like a hotel, yeah, you're trying to fuck Quest.
Or better yet, hey, buddy, can you go stay with a friend for a couple days? I need some space.
No, I think the person who wants the separation, unless there's children, should leave.
Okay, that's fair, especially they
Like
don't
if it's
have
a mom
kids.
and dad, the mom, she should stay with the kids because she probably does the most. And then the dad goes somewhere else.
I think the person who, in my opinion, has the most fault should leave. In her mind, not to defend Amanda, Kyle is the problem. So if
Well,
I'm
Kyle
Amanda, my point
is the
is,
problem.
Courtney, the last thing I'm doing is checking into a hotel and spending my money to get away from
Yeah.
you. You
Because
get what
she
I'm
wants to
saying?
fuck West. Wants to fuck West.
That's what I'm saying. You can't convince me
And
otherwise.
people probably know where he lives, so she can't go there.
Well, until she does and eventually gets caught up. So
I'm just like, I'm so, it's just, it's so Gross. I can't get over it.
Well, the episode ends, and it ends with like Amanda, which again, the
Wait, hold
Bravo
on.
sleep. Uh-huh.
This is so unimportant, but didn't Kyle look really good in that confessional crying? He's a pretty crier.
I'm gonna keep what I have to say to myself about men crying. So, anyways, um, Amanda speeds off in her Uber in West's sweatshirt. Some people were able to piece together on the internet, parts of the internet that people that watch Bravo found out. They like found old photo somewhere down 172 weeks down in West's Instagram or
I think
something.
I'm a Bravo fan, but I will never remember someone's outfit unless it's an iconic piece.
Yeah, and this was just a hoodie, but she does have it on if that's correct, if it's not Photoshop,
No,
because I believe people are capable of weird things.
no, I believe that's his hoodie.
So when we get to the city, Kyle, so the timeline of the city is
Wait, can we just
crazy.
give a rating of how we feel about In the City first? Like the cast, the premiere as a
Sure.
whole.
Um,
Um, you
so
go.
far, like episode one, because again, it's episode one, I only know half of the cast. I'm giving it out of 5 stars, 3.5.
Can we do out of 10? Five is hard.
Okay, so out of 10, 5.5.
Oh,
You have
interesting.
less than that?
Um, this mine is more nuanced and complicated. I
Oh,
think
okay.
I think the first episode, it's weird because I found myself being bored and I
Sure.
watched it twice. And by the second time, I said enough. But while I was bored and I give the episode like a three, I think the characters are about an 8.5. So I was intrigued where the story could go. I like all my base players to an extent. For the
That's where
most
I'm
part,
at with it.
I like the players, but I was bored in the episode. The Maybe it's because it was Summer House went into this. The episode felt 2 hours long, but then I watched the city
Dude,
standalone, and the city still felt 2 hours long.
so the first night it came on, I watched it back to back, and I
Same.
gotta be honest, I didn't retain half of the city. I was just way too tired, and I couldn't keep up with it, not because it wasn't good, but because I was too tired to keep up with the
Mm-hmm.
details. Because the timeline of everything in the first quarter of the episode alone was like, you know, so there's that. But yes, to your point, of course, love our summer house people. I don't know how I feel about any of their friends from New York yet.
So, I'm interested in that black man because I think he's not good. So I'm interested in that.
And Lindsay is a good judge of bad man character, and
Mhm.
she sniffed him out like a bloodhound. So
Well, I'm gonna leave it on the voice note, but you know how I feel about that man.
yep, yep, say less, got that, agree, hard agree,
So, I'm interested in his story,
sure.
but I don't think
Bravo
okay,
loves a bachelorette, don't they?
they do. They're doing a lot of bachelorette work. I don't think I like any of the cast, kind of like the Valley, but I'm interested. Also like the Valley.
Yeah, I guess that's
Other
what
than
it
Lindsay and
is.
Kyle, because you know I love me some Lindsay
Yeah,
and
we
Kyle.
like the OGs. We like the anchors, so to speak. Lindsay's one kind of kooky dermatologist friend. I'm into her.
No, I was gonna say her I like.
I just
I
feel sorry for her other friend.
The one that
Something's
just got
going on with
married,
that husband. Something's going on with that husband.
he hates her.
Well, let's get into it. Let's get into it.
Yeah. Wait, first we got to start with the sit down at Kyle's house.
Right. And so my note says that timeline was crazy because the episode picks up, and I think it says it's 7 months later. Yes, 7 months later is where the episode picks up from when.
No, I thought from the sit down they rewound 7 months back because they're still in summer filming the city.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm trying to say. Hold on, I have the timeline.
Because what they this
Yeah, they
story
leave
broke
summer
in
house. They
March.
leave summer house. Sorry, guys. We're trying to think. No, they leave summer house, and then yes, it picks up with Amanda in Kyle's apartment in his kitchen. seven
In real
months
time.
in real time, which
Yeah.
is 7 months
Yeah.
later. 7 months
Hmm.
after they decide to separate.
Yes.
Because in April, prior to that, so I think it was 4 months prior to that, or 4 months prior to that, it gets outed that her and West are a couple. That's when everything
Hmm.
blows up.
And
So
then they
when
said they
she,
picked up the city cameras. So
yes.
actually that scene probably was probably 2, 3 weeks ago.
Well, whatever week in April, everything blew up.
It was April 1st. It was
So
it was
boom.
like it was March 31st, I think. And then I think the statement went out like the first or the second or something weird.
So there goes that, right?
It was like
So
well before your birthday.
she walks right into Kyle's house, which makes you think, oh, they're friendly, but I guess they're friendly enough because he cares about her as a person. And she
Hmm.
comes over there to drop off their babies, aka their dogs, and shoot the shit with him essentially, which Kyle is better than me because I would have been like, thank you, you can leave the leashes over there. There's a door, see you later.
Kind of
But
like how Katie used to do shorts. Like, okay,
exactly.
bye.
See ya. So she sits down to make a bunch of excuses for herself because Kyle is clearly in shock over the fact that she's dating West. And he kind of implies, like, it makes me question when this started. And she has the unmitigated gall to get offended that he could suspect that she would have ever cheated on him. And then, like a
Cheaters
true
always do that. Cheaters are like, what? Well, you cheated on me.
I was gonna say, like a true manipulator, flips it on
Okay.
him back to when he kissed a girl. Well, she brings up, what happened. Sorry, there's a mosquito in here. She brings
Oh,
up what happened, when they were, um, there's a mosquito. It's driving me insane. When they were dating, which was that he cheated on her. We're all well aware of that. We don't understand why she married him if that was still on her conscience, but I digress. And, he goes, Amanda, that was one time. And like, in other words, get over it. And then she says, which I did say, oh, she says,
my little
no,
ears perked up.
yeah, she says, no, Kyle, you made out with somebody since we've been married. And he goes, says who?
Says who? When he said, says who? I said,
Says,
Kyle,
not no, I didn't. Says
Kyle,
who? Says who?
Kyle. We know how you get down. You're a little kissing bandit when you're drunk.
Yeah, so he says who, and she goes, there's a photo of it, and he immediately concedes.
He says,
Immediately just changes the
no.
subject.
But it's funny because he goes, okay. Kind of like, ma'am, not right now, but fuck.
But I mean, she kind of indignantly is just like, I can't believe that you would think that I would ever cheat on you. I know I haven't shown the best of myself lately, but that's where I draw the line, basically. And I
Her and
said,
West were snowed in together when New York had a blizzard. And I thought it was strange that they
she
were
just
together.
completely neglected any of her responsibility in this conflict and pushed everything back on Kyle. And it was just kind of insane to watch in real time because even within that, and I don't know that Kyle like ever wanted Amanda back or even really wanted their marriage to work so much as he wanted to win, and just prove everybody wrong. But, he basically gets upset at the fact that he feels that West is now getting sorry, that mosquito's back, is now getting the version of Amanda that he fell in love with.
No, that would piss me off too because you want to get mad at me because I go out. You never want to go out with me. You won't even do non like bar things with me, but you're going out every weekend to random dive bars with West. Whew,
Every weekend.
I would want to strangle her.
But the thing is this, like when I see pictures of them in
Who's
real
them?
time, she doesn't like, normally you get your new man and you glow up, you start looking
Oh yeah, you be
better.
looking like a hot bitch.
She just
She's
looks the
regressing.
same. Like her hair never looks like, and I mean, I'm
Her
sure
reunion hair pissed me off.
again, it's like her hair's never looking like it's getting washed. It's always the slick back bun, which is fine, I guess
Therese, she's
sometimes.
probably She's probably depressed again.
Oh,
I'd
I
be
would
depressed.
imagine. Well, there's this
Even dating
one
Wes, I'd be depressed.
Well, there's this one Instagram page called Your Moms Are Watching, and she brought up the fact yesterday, and I was like, ooh, RIP to your comment. She posted something along the lines of like, okay, like I think the pile on Amanda is a lot at this point. And to that point, I don't think the pile on is a lot because I care so much about her mental health or anything like that. I just think it's whack. Like this parasocial relationship people get with these people on TV, and I'm not even just talking about Bravo fans. I'm talking about Love Island fans. I'm talking about 90 Day
Mm-hmm.
Fiance fans. I'm talking about Love and Marriage Huntsville fans. Like the way people get into people's actual lives and go out of their way to act like you know somebody enough to get in their
It's weird.
DMs and tell them to go off themselves or, all kinds of just disgusting things in the name of somebody else that you don't even know. They don't even
And
know
we'll
that
never know.
you know what I mean? It's just like kind of insane. And so to that point, I was like, well, I agree with her, but people were eating her alive for that take. And I'm like, no, there's a such thing as like common human decency and the fact that you don't actually know this person.
Because at
So
the
you
end of the
sound
day,
nuts.
this is not the first time this has happened. This is a tale as old as time. I was just talking to
Yeah.
a woman and we were talking about this influencer, Alex Earl, and how her dad married the mistress. And now the mom is cool, all that, because it all happened when her kids were really young. And I was like, it's so insane. Not insane in a bad way, but like kudos to the mom for putting her feelings aside so her kids don't have like a hectic upbringing. I
Yeah.
was like, it's so insane. And she's like, happened to me. And it's like that is so common for your friend to get with your man. So it's also like she didn't kill anyone, you guys.
I mean, she didn't kill anybody in 5 years. Like, look how many years have gone by since Scandival. And it's like, do I still think Tom Sandoval is kind of scummy? Yes. But the thing is, I don't know about everybody else. I always thought that about Tom Sandoval. So nothing really has changed for me as far as that goes. He's
Yeah.
still booking jobs. He's leaning into his villain era. So he does shows that lean into that narrative.
And I
He's
liked him on the Traders. I
he's
did.
not getting Ariana money, I'm sure. But
Well, yeah. And that's his karma.
yeah,
Karma
but it's like,
always works itself out. We don't need to go giving Amanda death threats. Karma will
yeah.
work its way out.
And it's like at the end of the day, you don't know her. This relationship has no bearing on the rest of your life. You probably have a past due light bill. Amanda does not. Amanda's able to pay $114,000 in back
No,
rent. Can you?
17. I said, Mama, why didn't you go buy your Jersey house?
And I will also go back to the
Why
fact
didn't you go
that
buy
your
your Jersey
husband has been
house?
out
Oh, I
here
think you're frozen.
Oh, can you hear
Okay,
me?
you're back.
Okay. I will also go back to the fact that your husband has been out here
Yeah.
struggling financially.
Now, I like to be funny and say if I got married, his money is our money, my money is my money. But if my husband is struggling, baby, I'm helping you out. You're my husband.
Especially if I got a, over a
Like,
hundred thousand dollars sitting around.
and for her to say I paid that no problem, that shows you that that money did not even really put a dent.
No, because again, I will go back to the fact that not only are these people on TV, they have buku brand deals with
She
all of
probably
these.
got like minimum 80 grand for that Jimmy John's
Oh
Instagram
yeah,
commercial she did.
easily. Easily. All that little weed promotion she's doing, that's where the
Oh,
real
yeah.
money is these days. That is
She's
dollars
at
in the bank.
least making 400,000 on Summer
Kyle took
House
care of
at this point.
everything. Kyle took every care of
Her
everything
money
financially.
was probably just sitting. Her money is probably just there. She probably uses his card for groceries. You know what I mean? Because Kyle seems like that kind of guy. So her money is probably just direct deposit, piling it up. I'm sure,
Yeah.
I hope she invested. I'm sure her dad tells her to.
We get Lindsay as a mom, which
We saw Gemma.
I didn't know we were gonna get that. So that was cool.
I
That
was
was cool. She
shocked.
must look
And
like
I
her
don't,
dad because I'm not getting a whole lot of Lindsay. She must look, but
yeah,
I've
she's
seen
so
pictures
cute.
of her dad. She does look a lot like the dude.
Yeah, she's a super cute baby. Um, I know I stay on the valley enough with the kids. I like how the kids are sprinkled in this show. They're not a focal point, but I feel like Gemma was a focal point today because it's an intro.
Well, you know what I think is it is too? We very rarely get to see kids on TV shows get raised in the city. Like on the Housewives of
Mm,
New York, we got a little bit of it and we got
yeah,
God, bring back NYC Prep. That was such a good show.
you
But
love that show. It was, I
we
rewatched it recently and it was actually really good. It was
to
like
me
Gossip
it was
Girl.
like or a lower level like the kid with the spinoff with the kids, the Housewives
Um,
kids.
what is that
What is it
called?
called? I was gonna say in the
Rich
city.
Rich Kids NYC?
Okay.
Damn, I love that show. What is it called?
I think it is. I think it is something like that. But Lindsay's friends are a mess. Her one friend,
Next Gen NYC,
next gen. Okay, we said rich
not
kids.
Rich Kids, because
I was gonna
you're
say
just
I just
poor.
don't feel like they would outright call them rich, but
Yeah. No, when I said it, I was like, that just feels a little tacky.
yeah. But I'm sorry, Lindsay's friends are a mess. The one friend, I forget her name, but it's the one whose
I don't know
husband
any of their names. What does she do? What's her job? What's her vibe?
I don't
I
know
can
what
tell you
her
who that is.
name, her job is, but her husband does not want to have kids with her.
Oh, I don't think she has a job. I don't think he wants to talk to her. I don't think he wants to be near her.
Okay, so I like Lindsay as a reality TV show character, but I don't find her to be a girl's girl. And I've seen in real time where her and this particular friend, again, I forget her name, forgive me, it's gonna take me a few weeks, but
Wait, she was on is she the one that came to Summer House?
yeah,
Yvonne.
Yvonne. I've
'Cause I remember
seen where
that's
like
a French ass name, Yvonne.
that's a French ass name. Yeah, I've seen where like I think later on in the season, Yvonne's gonna come to Lindsay and be like, "You're treating me like shit."
Okay,
And I
I did
think
not see this later on in the season that everyone keeps talking about.
I saw it online, and part of me thinks that Lindsay's the kind of girl that would bring you on TV and beef with you, even though you're good friends. Like that's kind of her brand because that's kind of what her and Danielle went through. Although a lot of it's justified with Danielle, we'll
Oh my
get there.
God.
We'll get
I
there.
forgot Danielle was on this
Oh,
show.
we're
I
getting
hate her.
there.
I hate her almost as much as I hate Amanda. No, honestly, probably more because I think Amanda at least has nice style.
What did you think of the conversation between Amanda and Lindsay, where Amanda's recapping her and Kyle's therapy sessions? And she's like, well, the therapist is like, you guys hate each other.
And I thought, yes, Amanda, we've been saying that forever.
And it's like, again, why are you making the therapist do your dirty work? You don't need to go to therapy for a therapist to tell you how you guys have been treating each other is hateful, and you probably don't need to be together.
Like,
So
just
again, it's like
divorce.
get some balls and end your marriage and be
Because
done
guess
with
what? Kyle won't care.
it. He doesn't care either way,
He
clearly.
he'll cry, but Kyle's a crier. He'll get over it.
My next note says Andrea Child, I guess. Anyway,
I kind of forgot about him too in this. He didn't really move me. I think
he
he was there in
never
the first
does.
episode for like engagement. You know what I mean? Like he's a familiar face. We got to have him there because apparently
People
there's
gotta
people that
realize
weren't
when
even
you
on the
just like
episode yet.
somebody around because they're attractive and just stop making it because like he's so great and he's so nice.
Yeah, you just like to look
He
at him.
never leaves an impression on me in general,
Yeah, he was there.
other than what he did to Maya.
Danielle, kill me,
Even
Cherie,
more.
if I get knocked up by a man who's still married, whether they're going to reconcile or whether they're going through a divorce, to be with a man who's separated, fine.
And then
Even
get
to
pregnant
get
by
a ring
him.
from him, sure. To procreate,
To get pregnant. And then I could be wrong, but I thought I heard he recently had a baby with his wife, like their youngest child.
no.
I could have sworn I heard that.
I'm Googling.
Like their youngest child isn't that old. From what and that could just be
So he
in
has children.
to my knowledge, yes. If I'm not mistaken, he does have at least one child with his ex-wife.
What's his name? That's insane.
Owen, but it's spelled like O
Yeah, it's like
I.
O something.
OIN,
No,
I
it's
think.
EOIN.
Okay. But while you look that up, um, Kenny is a giant red flag.
He's
Well,
so icky. He's so icky.
back to Danielle. We'll wrap Danielle up. Why they decided to put Dan, like, it's like Bravo doesn't listen to us at all online when we're like, oh, we can't stand Teddy. Oh, because I'm sorry, you guys. I'm glad that Teddy's doing better. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Like, this is just
Yeah,
fake internet shit at the end of the day. This is like fake. I don't even know Teddy, so I'm glad she's doing better. But like
it's boring.
back to, originally scheduled programming, it's still like I don't need Teddy back on my TV in any capacity. And that's how I feel about Danielle. Like Danielle's right in that category with, her and Charisse from Potomac. Like I don't
Yeah,
need you on my
like
TV.
God bless your baby. Get off my
And
screen.
your relationship, I guess, with this married
Yeah.
man, I guess. Because here's the thing. Are you a hypocrite much? The way you sat and judged Lindsay for how she conceived her child and what she was perceivably about to go through with being maybe a single mother at the time, is just rich. It's super rich. And what women have to stop doing is judging women for how they conceive their babies, because especially when you know you want kids and you're pushing the late 30s and you know you're getting a little bit on the desperate side to get that kid.
Hmm.
How about you go, or how you go about getting that child can get really interesting at that point, because at that point all you know is that you want your baby and you're like, "Oh, he'll do. If I end up a single mom, I can do that." A lot of women do that. And
Yeah,
it's
and I don't think
perfectly
there's
fine.
anything wrong with that. If you are fine with being a single mom, if and I think Lindsay is, and Lindsay's man is super rich. He's a doctor,
And
and
I
more
think like
importantly,
I think
he's not
beyond a
married.
doctor, he's like some kind of like researcher and stuff too. Like I think
Yeah,
he's
like
esteemed in his community.
so it's like, and most importantly, he ain't married.
And also, she's doing okay. Like financially, if she didn't have a doctor for a baby
Yeah,
daddy,
she
Lindsay would
can.
still be fine.
Danielle, what's your job?
Oh, we're still waiting to know because that little
CEO
app,
and founder of what?
like at
I
least Kyle, when he says he's a CEO, like we have evidence of his product. I've never like me and a friend were just saying the other day because she actually took the time to download that little app that Danielle created. And she was like, I go on it like once a quarter to see if anything's changed, and it still seems defunct.
of course, because
So,
Danielle's defunct.
and I just feel like Danielle has been trying to cash in on like a semi decent waspy man since we met her. And
Her
now
obsession
she
with white
has,
men needs to be studied.
you know?
It's
And don't
gross.
say shit to us about it because we've said the same thing about Sierra.
Gross.
Okay, so okay. But
Oh,
anyways,
put them in both the same study.
yeah, and we said what we said. So back to Kenny, speaking of black people with issues. He's a walking red flag. He's a resident mulatto, and again, it is what it is. Um,
People say that's a slur. I love using it.
it's on my mother's birth certificate.
Someone said it's a slur.
Well, I'm black, so
I mean, it's not a slur to us, but it's a
I don't care
slur. And
what
I
they say. I'm saying it. He's a
no, but
mulatto.
this is how
He's a,
I feel.
I mean, there's a rapper that calls herself that. So
A
it is that
mulatto is a mulatto. Like
he's black
I,
and white. He's black and white. Okay.
in
It
my
is what
mind,
it
a
is.
mulatto is just a way to describe.
Yeah, it's not a slur. And you can't be racist if you're black. Anyways, so um besides what his ethnicity is, he's a walking red flag. He screams MAGA. And before the season started, I don't know if you
Oh, he screams
saw.
maggot too. I don't know if I paid attention enough.
Well, a lot of people
That
felt that
doesn't
about
shock me.
him and had like done some research, I guess, on how he's registered to vote. And it went around before the season started that he's MAGA. And he went live.
Well, MAGA or Republican, because those are two different
Well,
things.
so that's what the narrative was that people ran with. If he's Republican, he voted Republican, which means he voted for he who is currently in office, right? And so he goes live in order to debunk this. And he basically says, I'm not MAGA, but then like proceeded to say a bunch of bullshit that was like, so did you vote or no?
He probably didn't vote.
It was just
He's
like,
probably just
you know what?
always registered Republican.
Sure. But it was just
Yeah,
like, you know what you could have said? Nothing.
yeah, you could have shut the fuck up.
You could have just let people think what the fuck they wanted. But this man, he
He's
tells
just
them
so grimy to
he
me. Like,
leads with the fact that he's a black man that made it in finance and he didn't think he could do that. And it was just like, okay.
I know a
Um,
black man in finance. Like,
my dad was one, but I digress.
yes.
Like, fine. Um, so, he points that out that he's made it in finance. He has a girlfriend. I was like, Bravo loves the Bachelorette universe because he has a girlfriend that was on The Bachelor. I believe she was on the same season that Nick Viall was on. And it's like, what
Oh,
is
I
the
didn't watch
Bravo
this
pipe?
season.
I don't, I'm not a Bachelor
I
person,
think it's
but
because those Bachelor people have like millions of followers. So they're starting to see
yeah, but they're
we can
all from the
cash in.
same season that Nick Viall was on. Because like Jasmine from the Valley, she was on Nick Viall
Oh,
season.
really?
Yeah, and then Rachel Lindsay, like she's popping right now. Well, she's popping in general, but she was on
Yeah.
Nick Viall season, so
Oh, I know she came from being on The Bachelor to being The Bachelorette, but
she
I
was on
never
his
really
season.
I prefer watching The Bachelorette because I like watching the men fight with each other. I don't really like watching the girls fight over a man. It doesn't interest me.
Yeah, I think I only like dating shows of that style if they're like the flavor of love. Because I think the whole thing of women competing for one mediocre man, that whole trope needs to die. Like,
Yeah, it's
make
not.
it, if you're gonna make it a mediocre man, make it somebody like Flavor Flav. Give us a show. Give
Yeah.
us something to watch. But I can watch a mediocre white man. I live in Southern California in my everyday life. Okay? It's not
Oh, awesome.
entertaining. It's not. But anyways, he's with a former Bachelor contestant, and she foolishly moves across the country to be with him in New York with no ring on her finger.
She wants to be
Lindsay,
on the show. She wants to be on the show. I don't think
and
she
I'm assuming he's got a
cares.
little bit of money if he's
Well,
made it.
yes.
You know what I'm saying? And it's New York City. She's from the Midwest somewhere. I mean, it's a more exciting life. Let's
Yeah, I
be
think she's
honest.
like, I'll be on a TV show. Clearly, I like being on TV. I was on The Bachelor. Like, I'm just like, but it is stupid in real life for a woman to move for a man with no ring. But I think she just wanted to be on TV. Like, I was very
Yeah.
uninterested in their relationship.
And then again, worst case scenario, I don't end up on TV. We end up married. I have a nice, cushy
Yeah.
life with somebody with a little bit of money and a little bit
I
of
mean, he's not
influence.
cute, but he's not ugly.
Yeah. So we cut to
Wait, I do
Amanda.
think they
Oh,
would make funny looking children, though. So,
he's an interesting looking guy.
yeah, I don't
Like,
know if they should procreate, but
yeah. Yeah, and I'm gonna keep what I was gonna say next to myself. We'll keep that in the voice notes. Kyle and Amanda, we cut to them talking about their recent therapy session together.
oh, and
And
leaving the subway.
the most hilarious interchange was, I'm gonna go. I'm sweating. Like, I can't do this. And
I'm sweating. I'm so hot.
Kyle goes, You have a raincoat on in the middle of summer. It's not a raincoat.
When she walked out of the subway and she had at first it was the headband. I love headbands, but I don't like when girls put them too far down their forehead.
Okay,
And the
so
coat,
I saw that trend on TikTok, right? So I start wearing it like that around the house, and my sister was like, "What the fuck are you doing, bro?"
it
I was
looks
like, "What?
nuts.
This is how they do it. This is what I'm doing."
No,
She's like, "Dude, just stick to what you know." I said, "Okay,
it needs to be
fair,
here.
fair."
It needs to be here. So first I saw the headband, then I saw the coat, and then I saw what Kyle's wearing and what everyone's been wearing this whole episode. And I said, so I'm guessing it's pretty warm out.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's still late fall with global warming when they're filming that. With global warming, I mean, out
And
out
most
here, it's
importantly,
well into the hundreds in October still.
like it's humid.
Yeah, New York's very humid. Yeah.
What is with the getup?
Yeah, well, again, when people are depressed and not doing well emotionally and thin, like you're cold all the time, like you know what I mean? Like it checks out with like her emotional state
I
because
don't know why thin was so funny to
she
me.
is thin, she's
No,
even
she
Kyle
is
says in the beginning of the
gangly.
episode, like, are you eating? Like, you don't look like you're eating.
She looks
And
gangly.
so, they're in the middle of the street having this argument about the fact that like therapy did not go well. How did therapy go? Not well, bitch. It didn't go
Ah,
well
well, bitch.
because Amanda felt like Kyle was being so pessimistic, and that he wasn't seeing the glass half full, he was seeing it half empty, and that frustrated her because she's like, according to her, I don't know how much she was actually giving to him at this point, but according to her, she was giving it her all because that's what he wanted. He wanted to go to therapy, so she's giving it her all, and she felt like it was a slap in the face for them to get to therapy, and he's not giving it his all, and he's being rude and negative. So he was basically like, yeah, shorty, all that, all that. Are you gonna go to this get together at Gavin's bar with me or not? Because the homies are waiting for us. And she was like,
Literally.
no, bitch, I'm going home. You can go
I'm
to that.
hot.
I'm hot. I'm in this raincoat in fall, summer,
I
fall.
can only imagine how hot she was down in that subway because it is so hot down in the subway.
Don't you remember like when you were young and your mom would piss you off and you guys be on your way somewhere and she'd be like, "You're gonna wear that jacket, stupid. You're gonna be so hot." And you're like, "No, I'm not." And then you
I'm
get
like,
out and
fine.
the whole time you're like, "Nope, I'm not taking the jacket off because I'm not about
You're
to
like
prove her right." But you're
going in the
dying on the
bathroom,
inside,
lining
feels like a
yourself.
fucking inferno. That's what I felt like this was low key. Like he probably told her like, "I don't think you should wear that." And she's like, "I'm wearing it." Like. Um, but
No,
she
they
was
were
like,
living
"Yeah, no,
together,
bitch.
remember?
I will not be going to a bar. I will not be hanging out with our friends. Like they're cool people, but I don't want to be around them. I don't want to be around you. I want to be at home by myself." So, um, what's his name? Kenny had already mentioned earlier in the episode that he likes Amanda as a person, but he never felt like she matched Kyle's freak. She never matched
Yeah.
his steez. Because Kyle is an outgoing guy, and like I learned about myself years ago. I don't need to date an outgoing guy. I'm a homebody. I'm okay with that. But I know that about myself. And we see it again. He's like, dude, for months now, you've been going to stuff by yourself. Or for a long time, you go to stuff by yourself. She never comes. And she just further proved that right in this moment by not going. So we cut to Gavin, another seemingly mulatto.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if it was mulatto or like an Afro Latino.
Yeah, maybe Afro
Also,
Latino.
he looked weird.
Well, he gave weird when he said he gave camera access to Kenny so that he could hone into the cameras whenever he felt like it and see if there
Maybe
were
they're
hot.
lovers.
Dude, that shit was creepy. You're watching the bar to see if there's hot girls there. That's predatory on a level that I have never even imagined.
I was like,
It's yucky. It's gross.
weird.
You know what I mean? Like imagine you meet him and you get engaged and you guys get married and you find out how you met wasn't happenstance. He happened to be at home with a beer watching the bar cameras and said, "Ooh, Shardy in the black, I gotta go get that. I'll be home
Gross.
in a few hours."
Gross. He grossed
Right?
me
Like
out.
wouldn't you feel like you were set up for the okey doke? Like I would
Yeah.
feel like that's not an honest
I
way
would
of
take it as
meeting
a
me.
threat to my life.
Yeah, it was weird. It was weird. But I'm sorry, Kenny versus Lindsay. So the episode before Kenny versus Lindsay, Lindsay basically runs down the fact that she doesn't know how she feels about Danielle being in the mix because honestly, she doesn't fuck with Danielle. And Lindsay,
Neither do
much
I.
like a girl like myself, has been keeping a running tab in her head and in her phone of all of the things Danielle has done throughout the years. Now, as avid Summer House watchers, we have all seen in real time the fact that Danielle was a very out loud hater of most of the things that
Hater.
Lindsay ever did, ever accomplished. She would always go after Lindsay sloppy seconds. I guess I wouldn't call Carl sloppy seconds because like Danielle came in liking Carl, but at the end of the
Because they had
day,
like went on like 3 dates
yeah, it
before
wasn't
she
that
came in.
deep. It wasn't that deep.
Yeah.
And
People are like, well,
Carl
what
and
about
Lindsay have a
Lindsay and
past.
Danielle? I'm like, It was not the same.
And I feel
They
like
went on 3 dates. She said, eh.
As Lindsay's friend, at some point you knew how deep it was with those two. So to do a handy was diabolical because that was something that Lindsay noted is that Danielle gave Carl a handy at one point after Lindsay and
So weird.
Carl stopped dealing with each
I
other.
think she said it was like a couple weeks after
Yeah, in the
they had
back of like an
originally dated.
Uber. What is up with people doing things like that in the back of Ubers?
I said, that is someone's car.
This is not a limo with like a partition. My God, today, if I
Yeah.
was driving Uber and I saw somebody doing that in my back seat, the way I would pull over and say, "Get the fuck out of my car, you
I'd be like,
pervert."
this is
I'm
not
calling the cops
a
and you're getting
hotel room.
arrested for indecent exposure. You fucking
Because
comic freak.
that's sexual
Remember
harassment.
when we went out in LA and that girl you used to be friends with got mad because we needed to pee and we were gonna do it in a parking lot and she said we were gonna get arrested for indecent exposure
And be on the sex offenders list.
and be on the sex offenders list. I have never forgotten that and I've always taken it into consideration when I had to pee in the wild.
No, sure, I think about it often.
Because people like that, they know what they're talking about. Anyways, um, I
Oh,
digress.
she was so crazy.
I know. Um, so yeah, Danielle, I mean, Amanda is not fucking with Danielle being here. She's like, I think in real time they're okay, so I guess we'll get to see that trajectory on the show because I saw her posting like congratulations to Danielle on being pregnant and looking genuinely happy for her.
I hate
So
Danielle.
maybe they're gonna get to a place where they can be friends again. I just don't feel like
I don't want
Danielle
it.
could ever be a friend that Lindsay could ever trust act properly.
No, because Lindsay is iconic and Danielle is not. So they're never going to be able to be friends. And Danielle's not okay with not being iconic.
And Danielle has always been like close but no cigar. Like, oh, I
Yeah.
almost started a company. Oh, I was almost successful. Oh, I almost got engaged and married. Like it's never really just
She's
went
never
over the
going to
bar
be
for
able to
her.
be fine with that because she's not happy being a B character, but she's really a D character.
Yeah, and that's why again I question Bravo's decision to bring her onto this show.
When I found out she's on the show, I almost didn't want to watch. I think I hate Danielle more than I hate Amanda. No, I do.
Sure, sure. Because I told you for
She's
me with Amanda prior to the Sierra thing, Amanda was just a non-motherfucking factor to me. Like she was just Kyle's wife or Paige's friend. Like she was just
But see,
there to
I
me.
liked her outfits. I loved her
Sure.
outfits. She was boring, but she could put together an outfit.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, like
Danielle can't even dress.
well,
You
I
have a
guess I just
fashion
always kind of
blog, you
grouped her
can't even
in.
dress.
I just always grouped her in with the whole Paige of it all when it came to the fashions. Like I just figured maybe you got influenced by Paige because again, prior to that, I don't remember much about Amanda.
No, the
So like
people are
maybe Paige
saying
made you cool.
it's not Paige. People are saying first she was cosplaying Haley Bieber, and then
Sure.
she started cosplaying Sierra. And when I thought about it, because Paige's style is very feminine, girly, like almost 60s mod. But yeah,
I
she
forgot how the white girlies go up for Haley Bieber.
oh my god, they love her. They love her. She is really pretty.
Yeah, I don't hate her as much. I don't know why people hate her so much. She seems like a cool girl.
I mean, she writes for her husband. I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
And she's a
So
fellow Sagittarius, so I kind
we
of
get
like her.
in. I have like an itch on my back. We get in to Kyle versus, I'm sorry, Kenny versus Lindsay
Mm.
because that man is shouting from the rooftops that his girlfriend moved there without a ring and that he has treated her historically like shit. Like his mother died,
No,
and when his mother died, he became a hoe. Like that was his grief reaction, which to each his own. Um,
it's
and
very male of
Lindsay,
him.
yeah, Lindsay kind of just clocked that in the moment and was like, what's in this for her, basically? Because you seem like a fuck guy that's not ready to settle down. And he basically comes back at her with, you seem like a man hater. And she's like, no, I'm not a man hater. I just call it like I see it. Like nothing you have said has sounded like it's constructive for a relationship, basically.
And didn't
Um,
he say she's not like, he said to Kyle, I don't get that obsessed and love feeling with her.
yeah, like she's just whatever for him.
And if I heard that watching it, I would have to break up with him because now it's getting weird.
Well, she's not going to do that because, again, like, I'm not going to hold you. She's kind of seems like she's not on planet Earth all the way. Like,
She's a bit of a dummy.
there's something about some of these bachelor girls, like old girl from Rhode Island, where it's like they're not in the same universe as us. Not all of
They
them,
are
because
not.
again, like our queens, Rachel Lindsay and a few others are okay.
Yeah.
But this one and the other one in Rhode Island,
Well, you got to be a little kooky to go on a show fighting for the same man, the same
the
one. Not
same
even like Love Island,
mediocre man.
where they have like multiple men. This is like one man.
Yeah. But that was pretty much them. I mean, to your point earlier, I think we have some interesting characters. I'm hoping that this doesn't like bring me down like the Valley does every week. I don't think it will. I mean, I think obviously the Amanda Kyle of it all is gonna be
Yeah.
heavy,
I don't
inevitably.
think it's going to be as dark as the Valley. I don't think the players are as dark as the Valley players.
Sure. Yeah.
You
And
know, they're a
especially
little
because
more light.
I remember when the season when season one of The Valley came out, and outside of what was going on with Jackson Brittany, which we all could have guessed anyway, like I don't remember it being heavy. It was just like, oh, of course Jackson Brittany are going through it. Of course they are. But everybody else
Yeah.
was seemingly okay that first season. That's kind of how this
Yeah.
is. Like everybody's seemingly
Yeah. I
okay.
think they'll be fine.
And then there's one couple who expectedly is going through it. So we can take a pause here. That was a lot, you guys. Join us for the second half of this episode right after this. Go on over, click play, take a bathroom break, do what you got to do, and then come back and join us
On
for
to
the
part
rest
two.
of Bravo Mania, basically.
Bye.